What's up, YouTube? I'm the Calcara 131, and this is my ballistics gel test of the Speer Gold Dot 223. Now, if any of you have heard of Speer Gold Dot before, I'm not going to be overly surprised. Speer, the company Speer Gold Dot is what they've called their type of bullets, are one of the highest end premier self-defense ammo manufacturers. So they make their Gold Dot bullets and almost any caliber you can think of. Definitely all the popular ones: 223, 940, 45, 308. I think they have a 300 blackout now. 10 millimeter. Any of the popular ones, they'll probably have at least one option for their Gold Dot bullets. And in this case, I have their three selections for 223: the 55 grain, the 62 grain, and last but not least, the 75 grain Speer Gold Dot. So I wanted to test which one of these would be the best out of my particular rifle. And I figured while I'm doing it, I can make a video out of it and kind of share my experience with it. So just a real quick overview on my testing setup. I have two 16-inch blocks of 10% ballistics gel from Clear Ballistics, 3 things of ammo, tape measure to measure it out whenever it's done. I'll be standing about 5 yards away, so it's going to be pretty much muzzle velocity. I don't have the equipment to actually test what these are coming out at, for the record. So I'll try to annotate on the screen what sort of velocities you should expect to get out of these. But this is going to be coming out of a 14.5-inch ballistic advantage barrel. Quick note from editing Calcara here. Whenever I was putting this video together, I realized somehow I had lost the clip that was the camera angle of me actually shooting the 55 grain Gold Dot. So we'll just have to settle for listening to the audio and seeing the slow-mo clip here. Also, I will apologize for the just atrocious quality of the slow-mo videos and the clips. Recording in super slow-mo on my phone is really low quality. It gets better whenever it's me actually inspecting everything. Alright, so this is shooting the Speer Gold Dot 55 grain, not 5 yards away. This is a 14.5-inch ballistic advantage barrel. See what it does. All right, that was loud as fuck. Turns out, if you shoot a gun without ears on, it's loud. But, okay, so let's kind of check some of this out. It looks like, it might be easier to do this from where you guys can see what's going on. The neck, there isn't much of one. I'd say maybe it started expanding about 1 inch in. Total penetration. It looks like 12 1/4 inches. 12 3/8 maybe. So it looks like it did exactly what it was supposed to, and it did exactly what I expected it to. For a quick explanation on that, the 55 grain Gold Dot is a bonded soft point. So as soon as it hits a target, it'll start to expand. It's only 55 grains, so it's going pretty fast. It's going faster, so as soon as it hits this target, it'll start to expand quicker. That's going to make it bigger, more drag, it's going to lose power quicker, which is why this one only got to just over 12 inches, which is what the FBI recommended spec for so you know, is anything between 12 and like 18 inches is what they recommend for self-defense ammo, and that's what I'm going to be using for this test. So that was at the very bare minimum of it, but it did still pass. Ideal, obviously, is right in the middle, so like 14 to 16. But 55 grain didn't quite penetrate as far as I had hoped. Actually, it penetrated as much as I thought it would. But, see if I can get this out. You know, other people you see do this make this look real easy. It's my first time ever playing around with ballistics gel, let me tell you. It ain't easy to pull one of these damn things out. Come on. Got it. Alright, so this is the 55 grain gold dot. As you can see, just about perfect expansion. It flattened out just like you would hope it would. I have no way of testing how much it retained, but it's a bonded soft point, so it should retain most of it. Looking on the block, this is brand new, so it's got some of these striations and shit from the plastic that it came in, but I don't see any piece of the jacket that came off. If you guys see anything, I mean, comment down below, but I don't see anything. So that's where the 55 grain went. Let's step on back and see what 62 grain will do. All right, so now we have the 62 grain Speer gold dot, and I have ears this time. Shooting without ears isn't the kind of mistake you make often. Normally, once you do it once, you tend to remember not to do it again. 14.5 ballistic advantage barrel. Let's see what happens. Oh, that's awkward. All right. This is the 62 grain. Let's see what happened with this one. See if I can differentiate the two bullet trails. Oh, you definitely can. So the neck up here, before it started expanding, the neck is pretty much the same. I'd say about an inch. I'm not sure how well you guys can see it. Try to get you guys a better shot there. But top is the 62, bottom is the 55. You might not be able to tell very well through all this, but they're pretty much the same. There's almost no difference in when it expanded. Move you back in position. All right, so let's check total penetration. 14 inches. Yeah, give or take a couple. But all right, so that is, like I said earlier, right on the edge of what ideally you would want. 14 to 16 is the ideal. 12 to 18 is the like maximums that you would want. See if I can get this out from the top. Come on. Oh God, I lost it. All right, last one. I got the 75 grain gold dot. This is the one that I'm personally expecting to be the best. It's what I personally use, but let's find out what it does. All right, 75 grain. I kept both my other bullets, thankfully. Let's check this out. All right, you can't really tell through this side, but so I don't know if you can tell very well here either, but this is the 62, 55. This is the 75. So on this side, this is it's the trail you can see the easiest over here. This one actually looks like it started expanding in maybe the same. If anything, I can't tell very well through all these creases, but it almost looks like it penetrated or it started expanding a little more. Or a little quicker, let's put it that way. But as you can tell through all these, pretty consistent permanent stretch cavity as it's being shown in here. That 55 grain was damn cool though, with those burn marks, burning propellants and gases that got caught in the gel when it hit, I suppose. Let's turn that back around and get the overall penetration. 19 inches. Get you guys you're probably off to the side, you can't tell very well, but the 75 hit at around 19 inches total penetration. See about pulling it out. God damn. Come on, big guy. Got it. All right. Ooh, she's still warm too. But get some of this ballistics gel off. Here is the 75 grain. Definitely did not expand quite as neatly, which I guess makes sense considering it's going slower. But still penetrated pretty well. 75, 55, 62. All right, well, that was informative. I think that's how I'm going to put it. For the most part, they did exactly what I was expecting them to. And what I mean by that is, I am by no means a ballistics expert. Don't let me confuse you with that. I'm not trying to claim I am. I'm just a gun nerd that's watched too many of the chopping blocks gel test videos, but I'll link his channel below. Andrew with ar15.com and his personal channel, The Chopping Block. He has done probably over 100 of these gel test videos, much better than I did it. With, I mean, better equipment, actual high-speed cameras so you can see what the bullet does as it enters the block. But I've watched a lot of his videos, and that's how I know what I know about ballistics, which is why I'm not really surprised by the results. So, if we look at the 55 grain bullet here, the 55 grain penetrated the least. It was just over 12 inches. And that's what I would expect, frankly, because take soft point bullets, for example. These are bonded soft points. They tend to perform pretty uniformly. And what I mean by that is, if you give them less velocity, like the 75 grain, it'll penetrate more, because less velocity means when it hits the clear ballistics or any kind of gel or a body or whatever, it's going to hit with less speed and it's going to stop. It's not going to expand as quickly. That is why if you look at the 75 grain test, the 75 grain penetrated more. The 55 grain did not, because it hit the gel going quicker and it started expanding quicker, and once it expanded quicker there was more drag on it and the ballistics gel slowed it down more. The 62 grain was the only one that was actually in the sweet spot, which, I'm not gonna lie, that's the thing I wasn't really expecting. I had heard several people say that medium weight soft points tend to be really, really good, especially bonded soft points. They tend to be among the best. But I was expecting the 75 grain to be closer to the maximum of what the perfect is. Because again, 12 to 18 is the maximums. 14 to 16 right there in the middle is kind of what you ideally want to be at. I was expecting the 75 grain to be closer to the deeper edge of that ideal zone, but it didn't. It totally blew past it. Not by much, only about an inch or so. But, I mean, technically it did go outside of what the FBI standard is. Not that anything about this was to the rest of their FBI testing standards, but I'm going to use the penetration part of it. So, in that respect, it shocked me. And overall, the 55 penetrated least, and then it just went up from there. That didn't surprise me. The other thing that didn't surprise me is that all of them, I mean, again, arguably, with the exception of the 75 grain, they were all pretty much perfect, okay? Speer, as far as I'm concerned, Speer, Gold Dots, they're such a well-known brand for a reason. They are among the best in pretty much any caliber you can get. Their gold dot bullets work. That's why they're used by law enforcement. They're used by tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of conceal carrying Americans every single day. And I'm not overly surprised that all these performed pretty much perfectly. Again, little variations. 55 not quite enough, 75 a little too much. But all in all, I'm really happy with how the test turned out. It's kind of proven to me that specifically for my rifle, my 14.5 inch ballistic advantage barrel, the 62 grain or the 64 grain, I think they discontinued the 64, but if you can get it, I'm sure it would perform basically exactly the same. That is what I'm going to try to start looking for to stock up on, for just to keep loaded up at home for various plate carriers and stuff like that. So in that respect, I'm happy with how this test turned out. It told me kind of what I was looking for. This is a fun video. This is the first time I've ever been able to play with this ballistics gel. It was informative, and I can definitely think of in the future some other types of gel tests that I want to do. If there's any that you guys want to see me do, leave a comment down below, and I will do what I can to find the ammo in stock and actually afford to buy it in the Corona apocalypse. So, yeah. That was my gel test review of the Speer Gold Dot 223 bullets. The 62 grain was ideal. The other two, I can't really even give a second place because it's hard for me to rate one better than the other. If I had to, I'd probably say 75 is better, just because I'd rather have too much penetration than not enough. As far as I've been able to find, I haven't been able to find any actual real-world accounts or articles or anything like that about somebody actually killed from over-penetration. You know, you're worried about a bullet going through the bad guy, through a wall, and then hitting someone else. That can be a legitimate worry, but I've never heard an actual account of it happening. So until I start hearing a couple of those where it actually happens, I'm going to err on the side of too much rather than not enough. So 62 is best, 75 close second, also a real close third. They all performed well. It was a 55 grain. If you like the video, you want to see some more stuff in the future, give me a like, leave a comment down below what other kinds of bullets or designs or companies you want to see me check out, and if I can find them in stock, I'll definitely try to pick them up and check out how they do. I'm the Kakar 131, signing off.